Continuing coverage now on a massive proposed development in New Hanover County.
The group behind the project at Sledge Forest now says the development's plans are slashed by half. WECT's Connor Smith is in the newsroom tonight with new details on that project. So Connor, how many homes does the developer want to build now in these new plans?
Yeah, well, originally the plan was 4,000 homes, John, but a new application just submitted to New Hanover County shows less than 2,000 homes. Still, the project's opponents not buying any of it. This sleepy forest could soon be the site of one of New Hanover County's largest developments ever. Neighbors like Kane Darrell have been pushing back for months.
I see this as an injustice.
But plans for the 4,000 home project set to transform the Castle Hayne community have been chopped in half.
The application was for 1,800 homes, which is still a huge development. Way more than the infrastructure in Castle Hayne can support.
Developer Copper Builders recently submitting this updated plan to New Hanover County. The group's head, Wade Miller, declining our request for an on-camera interview. But in a statement, he says, quote, "Our goal remains to deliver new homes in a manner that preserves and honors Sledge Forest." He continues, there is still significant work ahead to make that vision a reality. Miller says they want to conserve most of the remaining property, but Darrell has a hard time believing them. Miller slapped with county permit violations for illegally building this structure back in April. Then he was forced to move his floating home to Carolina Beach after getting hit with more fines in Wrightsville Beach.
Copper Builders has given every indication that maybe we shouldn't be trusting them with this fragile ecosystem.
So even with these updated project plans, neighbors are worried the development could be as large as they fear.
Nobody's ruled that out, that we don't know what's going to happen to the rest of that forest in the future.
For now, Sledge Forest still looks like this as developers continue plotting its future. And a New Hanover County spokesperson tells me Copper Builders could submit future applications that do include more homes. Miller not ruling that out in his statement sent to us. John.
Well, Connor, the plans changed. Is there any update on the timeline for the project now?
Yeah, well, we're still years away from any homes being built in Castle Hayne, and the development does go in front of the county's technical review committee in 2 weeks. The county does get to review this project, but commissioners do not get a say before construction will begin.
All right, Connor, appreciate the update tonight on that project. Thanks.